こんばんは。ほっこりできるぐっすり朗読へようこそ。忙しい一日の終わりに心が少しほどけるような物語を優しくお届けします。今夜は夏目漱石の夢10夜より1夜目を静かにたどっていきます。夢10夜は夏目漱石が描いた10の夢の物語です。今夜の1夜目は静かな愛しさと長い時間の感覚が漂う幻想的な夢です。夢と現実の淡いをゆっくりと漂うように、どうぞ肩の力を抜いてお休み前のひとときをお過ごしください。それでは1夜目の夢の世界へそっと参りましょう。
I had such a dream. I was sitting by her bedside, arms crossed. The woman, lying on her back, said in a quiet voice that she would soon die. Her long hair was spread across the pillow, and her soft, oval face lay resting within it. A warm tinge of blood showed through the pure white of her cheeks, and her lips, of course, were red. She did not look at all like she was dying, but in that quiet voice she stated clearly, "I am going to die." And I too felt certain that she would. So I leaned over, peering down at her, and asked, "Is that so? Are you really going to die?" "Yes, I am," she said, opening her eyes wide. They were large, moist eyes, fringed by long eyelashes. The inside was entirely pitch black. Deep within the pure black of her pupils, my own reflection floated vividly. Gazing into the glossy blackness of her eyes, which seemed so deep they were almost transparent, I wondered how she could possibly be dying. I brought my mouth close to her pillow and gently asked again, "You aren't really dying, are you? You'll be all right, won't you?" Keeping her black eyes sleepily open, she replied in that same quiet voice, "But I am dying. It cannot be helped." "Then can you see my face?" I asked intently. "Can I see it?" She smiled softly. "Why, look, you are reflected right there, aren't you?" I stayed silent and pulled my face away from the pillow. Crossing my arms, I wondered again if she truly had to die. After a while, she spoke once more. "When I die, please bury me. Dig the hole with a large pearl shell, and then place a fragment of a fallen star as my tombstone. Wait by my grave. I will come to see you again." I asked her when she would come. "The sun will rise, won't it? And then it will set. Then it will rise again and set again, while the red sun falls from east to west, from east to west. Will you be able to wait for me?" I nodded in silence, raising her quiet tone just a little. She said with a firm resolve, "Wait for 100 years. For 100 years, sit by my grave and wait. I will surely come to see you.
I answered simply that I would wait. Just then my reflection, so vivid in her black pupils, began to blur and crumble, like still water moving and disturbing the shadow cast upon it. The image seemed to flow away, and with a soft sound, her eyes closed. A tear fell from between her long lashes and slipped down her cheek. She was already dead. Afterward, I went down to the garden and dug a hole with a pearl shell. The pearl shell was large, smooth, with a sharp edge. Each time I scooped the earth, the moonlight caught the back of the shell, making it glisten. There was the smell of damp earth. Before long, the hole was dug. I placed the woman inside. Then I gently gathered the soft earth over her. With every scoop, the moonlight shone on the back of the pearl shell. Then I found a fragment of a fallen star and placed it lightly on the earth. The star fragment was round. I thought that during its long fall through the vast sky, its edges had been worn away until it became smooth. As I lifted it and placed it on the dirt, my chest and hands grew a little warm. I sat down on the moss, thinking to myself that I'll be waiting here like this for 100 years. I crossed my arms and gazed at the round tombstone. Soon, just as she had said, the sun rose from the east. It was a large red sun, and just as she had said, it eventually fell to the west. It dropped silently, remaining perfectly red. 1, I counted. After a while, the crimson sun slowly crept up again, and then silently it sank. 2, I counted. Counting like this, 1 and 2, I lost track of how many red suns I had seen. I counted and counted, but an endless number of red suns passed over my head, and still 100 years did not arrive. Finally, gazing at that moss-covered round stone, I began to wonder if she had deceived me. Just then, from beneath the stone, a green stem grew out diagonally toward me. Before my eyes, it grew longer and stopped right around my chest. And then, at the top of that slender swaying stem, a single, elongated bud that had been tilting its head ever so slightly softly opened its petals. The pure white lily gave off a scent so sweet it pierced my very bones. From far above, a single drop of dew fell, and the flower swayed gently under its own weight. I leaned forward and kissed the white petals, dripping with cold dew. As I pulled my face away from that lily, I unconsciously looked up into the distant sky, where a single morning star was twinkling. 100 years had already arrived. It was only then that I finally realized. 一夜目を聞いていると、誰かを思いながら、ただ静かに待つ時間そのものが一つの夢のように感じられます。悲しいとも美しいとも言い切れない。 白く柔らかな余韻を感じませんか？今夜の眠りの中にもそんな静かな光景がそっと訪れるかもしれません。今夜も最後まで聞いてくださってありがとうございました。夢10夜はこの後も2夜3夜と少しずつ続いていきます。次回はまた少し違った気配をまとった2夜目をお届けします。また眠る前に物語を聞きたくなったらぜひこの場所に戻ってきてください。それではどうぞ暖かくしておやすみなさい。